Picture this. A crowd gathers at the foot of a mountain. They're shouting, arguing, a sense of chaos and desperation. In the middle of it all, a father pleads with a group of men. His son, a young boy, is convulsing, foaming at the mouth, trapped in the grip of a silent, tormenting spirit. This spirit has plagued him since childhood, often throwing him into fire or water, trying to destroy him. The men he's pleading with are Jesus' own disciples. They've been given authority over unclean spirits. They've healed the sick and cast out demons before. But this time, something is different. They pray, they command, but the spirit doesn't budge. Their efforts are met with mocking silence. Failure hangs heavy in the air. Crowd's hope turns to skepticism. The scribes' questions turn to taunts. The disciples are left confused, powerless, and publicly humiliated. Just then a figure descends from the mountain. It's Jesus, accompanied by Peter, James, and John, their faces still glowing with the light of the transfiguration. He steps into the scene of turmoil and asks, "What are you arguing with them about?" The desperate father pushes through the crowd and falls at Jesus' feet. He explains the situation as son's suffering, the disciples' inability to help. His voice cracks with a mix of hope and despair as he says, "But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us." Jesus looks at him, his gaze cutting through the noise and doubt. He responds with a powerful challenge. "If you can, all things are possible for one who believes." It's a turning point. The father, tears streaming down his face, cries out the most honest prayer in the entire Bible, "I believe. Help my unbelief." He acknowledges his faith, but also his doubt in the same breath. Seeing the crowd growing, Jesus doesn't waste another moment. He turns to the boy and speaks with absolute authority. "You deaf and mute spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again." The effect is immediate and violent. The spirit shrieks and convulses the boy one last time, then leaves him looking like a corpse. Whispers ripple through the crowd. He's dead. But Jesus simply takes the boy's hand, lifts him to his feet, and he stands, completely healed and whole. The chaos turns to awe, the doubt to wonder. Jesus has done what his disciples could not. The power that failed them flowed effortlessly from him. Later, when they were alone, the disciples came to Jesus. Their earlier confidence shattered. They needed to understand. "Why could we not cast it out?" they asked. It's a question that echoes in our own hearts when we face challenges that seem insurmountable. When our own faith feels inadequate. We've prayed, we've tried, but the mountain just won't move. Why? Jesus' answer is profound and has two key parts, depending on which gospel account you read. In Mark, he says, "This kind cannot be driven out by anything but prayer." In Matthew's account, he first points to their lack of faith, saying, "Because of your little faith. For truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you." Then he adds the crucial line, which many ancient manuscripts include, "But this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting." Let's unpack this. It wasn't that the disciples had zero faith. They had enough faith to try. But Jesus calls it little faith. Their faith was perhaps in the formula, in the authority they were given, rather than in the giver of that authority. They might have been relying on their past successes, thinking this was just another routine exorcism, but they were facing a spiritual battle of a higher magnitude, a deeply entrenched demonic power. Their ordinary day-to-day faith wasn't enough for this extraordinary challenge. They needed a faith that wasn't just a belief, but a deep, desperate reliance on God's power alone. This is where prayer and fasting come in. What do these practices actually do? Fasting doesn't twist God's arm or make our prayers more powerful in some magical way. God's power is already infinite. Rather, fasting changes us. When we willingly deny our physical bodies the food they crave, we are making a powerful statement. We are declaring that our spiritual needs are more important than our physical ones. We're saying, "God, I need you more than I need bread. My reliance is not on my own strength or resources, but completely and utterly on you." Fasting strips away our self-sufficiency, quiets the noise of the world and the demands of our own flesh, allowing us to focus more intently on God. It's an act of desperation and devotion, a way of sharpening our spiritual senses. It aligns our hearts with God's will and deepens our dependency on Him. Think of it like this. Regular prayer is like talking to a friend in a busy coffee shop. Prayer with fasting is like shutting the door, turning off your phone, and giving that friend your absolute, divided attention because the matter at hand is life or death. This kind of intense spiritual battle required an intense spiritual preparation that the disciples had neglected. They were confronted by a level 10 problem with level 2 faith. Jesus, on the other hand, lived in a constant state of communion with the Father. His life was a testament to prayer and dependence on God. What was an emergency for the disciples was normal operating procedure for him. This story serves as a powerful lesson for us. We will all face this kind of problem in our lives. It might not be a literal demon, but it could be a deeply rooted addiction, a seemingly impossible family situation, a season of profound depression, or a spiritual stronghold of fear and doubt that paralyzes us. These are the challenges where our usual methods fail. Our positive thinking, our self-help books, our own strength, they all fall short. These are the moments that invite us to a deeper level of faith. They call us to move beyond casual, convenient belief and into a desperate, focused reliance on God. They are an invitation to dedicated prayer and sometimes to fasting. They are God's way of showing us that some mountains can only be moved not by our faith in our faith, but by our faith in Him. It's about recognizing our complete inability in His complete ability. It's about echoing the Father's cry, "I believe, help my unbelief."
I'm relief.
And trusting that Jesus will take our hand and lift us up when we feel we are at our end. The goal isn't just to overcome the problem. It's to be drawn into a deeper, more intimate, and more powerful relationship with the one for whom nothing is impossible. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Let's continue to explore these powerful truths together.